blueprint. I'm going to talk about my amazing client, Andy, who has built a strong toned body and a clear mind without burning herself out or letting work rule her life. This is perfect for busy women who struggle to feel confident in themselves, who have just noise running them. They struggle to make themselves a priority. They neglect their self-care. But I'm going to try and keep Andy's story short, sweet, to the point, but let's talk about what's really possible when you stop putting yourself last. This is Andy. She was burnt out, anxious, with no time, no energy, no space for herself. She didn't need more motivation. She needed a system, support, and structure that actually worked for her. If you're always showing up for everyone else but never yourself, you're not alone. She was exhausted for work, stuck in her own head and drowning in guilt. She kept saying that I'll start Monday, but Monday never came. Until one day, she messaged me. But inside, she was quiet, falling apart. She had no routine, no structure outside of just constantly working, coming home drained, exhausted, defeated, and just then doing anything to make herself feel better. She had anxiety anytime she thought about the gym. Never really thought she had the energy to go to the gym because she was just so drained after work. She didn't need a new diet or program. She needed to really build her self-belief one step at a time, and she needed that support to take on that challenge, because without that she wouldn't even believed it was possible until she took that leap. And it was overwhelmed from work, no energy, the fear of the gym, a constant racing mind that just wouldn't quiet. She felt guilty for how she was living. She just didn't feel like herself. She never just achieved physical changes. There was deep emotional shifts, mental shifts, deep rooted in perfectionism and people pleasing. And they started to please herself, focus on herself, take care of herself the way she was taking care of everyone else before. She still does, but now she prioritises herself too. Confidence in her skin and a way of living that didn't drain her and leave her feeling depleted. She wanted to feel proud of herself, not just in the mirror, but in her decisions and her actions, how she was living. Andy stopped ghosting herself and started showing up for herself. Each and every week, for the first time in years, Andy started choosing herself. So let me break down exactly how we helped Andy shift. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too, which is where the real transformation occurs. We didn't just throw in a rigid plan and tell her to be more disciplined. We built this in a way that actually works for a real woman with real lives, or real busy with real responsibilities, just like Andy. Let me shift me out of there. First, we built real momentum. Her plan fit around her life, not the other way around. We made training, nutrition feel light, doable, and stress-free. There was no big overhaul. It was just small wins stacked up until that belief started to build itself. And the result was that Andy started showing up weekly without relying on motivation or discipline. She actually mentioned that the gym became an enjoyable part of her routine that she looked forward to, which before starting she never had. We ended the self-sabotage cycle. Instead of hiding when stress hit, she reached out. She spoke about it. She shared her feelings. She expressed herself instead of feeling like has to always hold together this image that she's okay, she's happy, and it's not. You're allowed to be yourself. You're allowed to express and just be you, because that's more beautiful than anything. Just being authentic. So instead of hiding when stress hit, she reached out. She stopped feeling guilty, started taking time for herself, and got real-time support to help catch her if she was ever spiraling, working as a nurse, doing night shifts and long hours that are demanding and require you put on this mask, this face for everybody else. And inside, your feelings are pushed aside and locked down. We pulled them up and we spoke about it, and we allowed her to express it in a way that was safe. And Andy's safe space was in here in the gym together. It's her space to work on herself. She chose progress over punishment. It wasn't doing punishment routines. This was self-development, self-care, working on her because she deserved it. She stopped ghosting herself and started choosing herself. And finally, we reset her mind. Mindset coaching helps Andi release guilt and just develop a new way of thinking and seeing herself and seeing her challenges and her problems and the sources of stress. She learned how to calm her nervous system and actually switch off after work, which she wasn't able to do before. We rewired her inner critic, or in these masks and personas and facades that she felt she always had to put on, which was exhausting. So she could stop beating herself up and start just being herself. And the outcome is that, well, she stopped spiraling and started thinking clearly again. And this is what real lasting transformation looks like. It's not a quick fix, not an all or nothing plan, but a strategy built around who she is and the woman that she's becoming. We made training simple and doable, even on our busiest weeks. She stopped tracking every calorie or obsessing over any of that and started just fueling her energy with flexibility. So it was just finding an approach that worked for her, which wasn't so rigid. It was just more fluent and flexible. And we spoke about it, suggested the swaps that were necessary and needed. There was no, you must follow this plan and da-da-da-da. We worked the plan around her and made sure that she got what she needed. And that's what we did. Meals with friends. There was no guilt. Just food for freedom and confidence. The mindset reset. Instead of punishing herself for missing a session, she learned to respond with self-compassion and structure and understand why, and just not beat herself up, but have more appreciation and understanding of herself and why she does what she does. We rewired how she thought about progress. There was no pressure or perfection comparing to others. It was just consistent action with support. And weeks come up down the line, she was getting these compliments from other people, and she realised, wow, this is working. Every week we had conversations, not just about food or training, but about life, because I'm genuinely interested. And then we simplified that chaos in our mind so that she could stop spinning and spiraling and just start executing and stay focused. Instead of getting overwhelmed and overthinking, we just, here's what to do. Simplify it, remove all this, and just boom, that's what we need to do, right? And that space of being seen, supported and safe, that was the real foundation for a real lasting change for Andi. I love that photo. And here, it worked for Andi because, again, we didn't demand perfection. We built belief through momentum, these small wins over time, consistently showing up together. We didn't pressure, we gave her permission to go at her own pace and just be Andi. We didn't need to fix her. There's nothing to fix. We just reminded her of who she really was. She was worthy of love. She was worthy of taking the time and energy to do this. She deserved this. She finally started to believe it again. And look at her now. So Andi is strong, clear, grounded. She walks into confidence with, she walks into the gym with confidence. She actually lit the gym up with her energy now, whereas before, I remember her on the first call, she was camera off and hiding away, and now she's just so bright and she shines her light, and it's beautiful to see because now she walks through life with more clarity, not complete clarity, of course, but in a more authentic state. She's proud of who she's become, and overall, she feels great. Andi's story isn't rare. It's reproducible. If you're burnt out, stuck, or running on fumes, then maybe it's time that you stop putting yourself last and started to make self-care a priority. Because who knows, it might just benefit how you show up at work, how you show up in your relationships. Your whole experience of your day, your week can be enhanced when you're able to just be yourself, express yourself, and just love yourself instead of judging yourself and beating yourself up and staying in the dark. It's just about shining some light on this mental and emotional baggage that you've accumulated, all this stress and struggle. If you're ready to put that down and start taking care of yourself so you can take care of others too, then DM me the word ready, and I'll send you the link to book your free discovery call. And again, there's no pressure here, right? Just a real honest conversation as possible for you. Because if Andi can do it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to hear from you very soon. Take care.